And hello and welcome to Weebanomics. This is your host, Kyrie Luminous at KyrieLuminous on Twitter.com. Thank you for joining us, and these are my co-hosts.
This is Smug at SmugHomeslice on Twitter.com.
This is the Unknown Otaku at the Unknown Otaku at Twitter. Actually, that's not my username. Fuck. Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Always are.
This is weird. That's what we do.
So, what is it that we were watching earlier?
We were watching I Couldn't Become a Hero, so I reluctantly decided to get a job.
Ooh, what kind of job did you get?
Shut the fuck up!
I want to know what kind of job you have.
I am unqualified for anything.
That's not true. There's always the oldest profession in the book.
Tax collector.
No.
So anyway,
it's Robo-Birds fighting.
But anyway, I Couldn't Become a Hero, so I reluctantly decided to get a job, is a slice of life where the guy couldn't become a hero because someone fucking killed the demon lord right before he was about to become the hero. And it's basically...
He got cucked.
He got cucked. It's a really cool concept, to be honest. But it's like a slice of life. But it's like a fantasy also, so it's like... It doesn't know what it wants to be. And it pulls itself in so many directions.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I kind of fucking hate this show. Just to be absolutely honest, I fucking hate this show. I couldn't stand watching it.
I'm pretty similar, yeah.
It looks like I'm gonna have an uphill battle. I'll go to bat for it. All right, I'm gonna first start by explaining the story so everyone knows. So, I couldn't become a hero, so I reluctantly decided to get a job. That's the title. The story is where the main character, Raoul, goes and tries to become a hero by killing the demon lord, and they are all pretty much right outside the castle, and him and his crew are just slicing and killing all these demons. And they are getting closer and closer to the actual demon lord himself. Only to find out, by the time they finish their battle, someone has actually killed the demon lord. Because of this, he gets no praises, no anything, no bitches, no nothing. So, he pretty much is a failure to society, just like a shut-in neat. And so, he pretty much just goes and is like... You're cutting out real hard. So he pretty much has no skills. Okay. He has no skills to pay the bills, and that is shown because when he's trying to get an employment with any random company, he puts down all his experience, which all of his experience is killing shit inside dungeons. And it's like,
exploring dungeons.
How will your Raoul slash that kills any demon in one hit help us with our company? So he eventually gets a part-time job at a Ma and Pa shop kind of place, but the Ma and Pa are really young and fuckable.
Very fuckable.
Very. And then, what's it called? This pretty much becomes a thing. He goes and learns how to do the job for a little while. And then one day, during his average boring day job, the daughter of the demon lord comes in more ways than one and applies for a job there. He doesn't know that is the demon lord, his daughter.
Thinks it's the demon lord's son.
And one day she gets knocked out, and then he tries to save her because he has wet clothes on all everywhere. And he's like, well, I don't want him to get sick, so let me take the clothes off. And then, boom.
And big old titties.
Big bouncing titties. Would just love. The beautifully animated as well, might I add. I'd take a bite of them and leave a mark. But
the titties were quality. They were quality.
The animation in this is surprisingly good, by the way.
It is.
It really is.
Holy shit. Like, the fight animation and the fan service, like, they went all out in both the regards. Like, a lot of these shows, they go, like, one or the other is, like, really good in fights or really good in animation. Or just, and it's like the average thing today, it's like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then you see the actual fight scenes, and they're like, holy shit, this is actually really fucking well animated. And then you see the, like, super fan service ones, like, especially on episode 3, it was like, holy fuck.
It went hardcore.
I would put a fucking collar on her. Oh, man.
Yeah, we forgot to mention that it is for sure a titty anime. Lots of titties everywhere, just tits everywhere.
Yes, and if I'm starting out like this
Big
and
old.
talking about it during the explanation of the show, you know what you're getting yourself into. Me, the most wholesome tradcath one here, that's never said or talked about anything degenerate. And now, what's it called? So, yeah, he's pretty much going and teaching her how to do everything inside a store. Only for them to realize that, yeah, that's not... He doesn't want to be doing this for the rest of his life. This isn't what he was wanting to do. He's just trying to find out himself. And, you know, he's teaching her. And, you know, they're growing together and getting attached. You know, she's constantly going into his room naked and at night and all the time. You know, just normal friend stuff. And then, what's it called? One day...
She smells fans. That was an interesting tidbit.
Yeah, she smells temperature.
Oh, she smells temperature.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That was hilarious.
The fan cooled the room, and she could smell the temperature. And she's literally the clueless 18-year-old that you cream pie, because what's it called? She literally thought when her dad told her if you slept with a man you get pregnant, she literally thought sleeping.
And slept. Yeah.
Yeah. Like actually sleeping. But yeah, back to what the explanation is so one day ex-heroes confront her and pretty much tell her that she's destroyed a lot of the economy of the place and put so many people unemployed. And because of her, a lot of people, including Raul, can't live in society or function as good as they were. And some of them just couldn't live and died. And just like a lot of people have been burdened by her existence of not being a demon lord. Or lack of existence, should we say. So they pretty much were going to make a deal that they're not going to kill her. They're not going to do any of that at all. Just let her be demon lord. But they will constantly be hunting down the army, and she will never be able to return to this place. Demons will no longer coexist with humans, and yada yada yada. So pretty much they want a perpetual enemy that they can control. They will still earn a paycheck, but the paycheck will be far more glorious than what they're doing now, and they don't hate their job. So pretty much just every socialist ever.
Or just the war economy.
It reminded me of communists. Like, wow. We just, be like doing our farm stuff.
Oh my god,
why the fuck does every communist want a farm?
No. It's one of three things. They want a farm, they want art, or they want
bad poetry.
Poetry.
I consider poetry under art, but
okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fair.
And the last one was what's it called? They want to be a teacher to teach history. They want to teach history. They want to be the re-educators.
Yes, that's. I don't know why it reminded me so much. It's like, this sounds like those. This is like exactly their dream. Just take down the system where people are suffering, and like, if there wasn't so much fan service, the communists would like just clamor to this shit.
No,
wasn't
because
so
it shows them
problematic.
as the villain, and actually shows that it was wrong for them to ever believe that.
Yeah, but they do the same thing with literally, yeah, I know that, but they don't care.
Oh man.
Literally, all the people they simp for are the same way, but they're like, nah, man, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Like, we were the good guys.
Oh man.
So
Yeah.
really,
So pretty much that's a lot of the story and everything how you can see it.
I will go further into the comparisons of how it shows the evils of capitalism.
So there is actually that's actually funny because there is legit criticism of capitalism inside this show, and it's actually something I've noticed a long time ago and said it's an actual problem. It's an actual problem. And that's actually one of the things I like in the show is that it has a lot of like no bullshit stuff, like
like how
actual fucking understanding of what they're talking about.
Like how the TV manufacturers use monsters to like as their assembly line, and then they just fucking die, and then they'd be like, "All right,
That's like,
Tom, number 15 died. Get another one."
to be fair, that is I don't inherently agree with that perception of it. That's they're trying to mock slave labor. But yeah, that's
So it just
literally
sounds like
it's
Amazon.
pretty much saying all big chains use slave labor, so small chains can't compete. That's literally what it was trying to say.
Yeah, and the big chains even have the
Despite popular belief, that's actually not inherently true. In fact, a lot of big chains actually kind of really hate using, those kind of third world like almost slave sweatshops because they invest so much money into it, and then America, we go and just shut it down for the good of the people, and guess what, they get absolutely no compensation for all of that. So they like cheap labor, but they want stable labor as well. So they don't
won't get fucking destroyed.
So big companies, this is like, as much as people love to do the idea of slave labor, that's not actually true. In fact, they go as cheap as they can for sustainable labor rather than actual slave labor. Just a little misconception there. Not saying that it never happens, but when you're talking about most big chains, it's like that's majority of it.
Yeah. And then there was something else.
If you want to talk about criticism of capitalism, that we get into the patents.
Yes, the patents. That's what I was about to bring up.
Yes, with the camera and whatnot, and how a lot of patent companies will literally patent like an entire concept and how to do it, and they just keep on top of it, and they force other stores by refusing to let them sell it, so that the stores themselves will go out of business, and then they will just go there and what's it called? The stores will go out of business, and they buy it up, and then now that they have the store, and they build their store right there, or just get rid of the competition. It doesn't really need to build the store there, but now they can hike their prices up because there's no competition anymore, and the cycle repeats. Anytime a small store gets there, they lower the prices so much that it's literally impossible to compete financially.
What's that? There's a term for that. I forget what exactly it's called, but
Doesn't Starbucks do that often?
I wouldn't doubt it. And that's a very common tactic with
wouldn't
big
surprise
companies.
me.
I remember hearing a lot about it involving Starbucks.
I
forget
literally
why.
remember freaking Amazon doing that for a diaper company.
I think a cafe I like went out of business because of a Starbucks, and that's why I remember it, the Starbucks thing.
It's
Nah,
predatory pricing. That's what it's called.
Yep. Yeah, I flat out didn't remember what the name was, but yeah.
Yeah, it's basically
this is the real
Weebanomics.
Weebanomics. We're actually talking about economic shit.
Yeah. Talking about fucking
Economics and boobs.
Economics and boobs. That's what we're all about at Weebanomics.
I know, and it's just it's so amazing to see that, because to me, I've actually always thought that was an actual flaw with the system, because by then you're not even choosing a product because it's better or any of that, because that other store might legitimately have better products and whatnot, but you're literally putting them out of business by forcing them to be unable to have to profit from
to like be successful,
to profit from everything else.
Yeah.
Because when it comes down to it, like, the goal for what capitalism should be is to sell the best product and keep making the best product for the most affordable prices. Or if you can't buy the best product, then you buy the cheaper product for a more affordable price. You know, as it should.
Yeah. In theory, that's like what it's supposed to be at its peak efficiency. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically patents get in the way. There are reasons to have patents, but that still gets in the way of it. So it can't inherently work that way with patents. But yeah, that is just a few things that I just actually really liked about the show. What about y'all?
I don't know.
I mean, I have a lot more I really like, but I was just naming those few. I wanted to let y'all talk.
I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on my whole opinion of the show. Like, there's a lot of okay, so I think in terms of actual plot, story, character-wise, how it deals with the comedy and stuff like that, I don't like it. And it's a slice of life, so I can't really nag on it about the plot because it's not not really its point as a slice of life. But even then, it's just not a show that really vibes with me. But it does have parts of it that I do like. But it's what I'm definitely conflicted on.
I liked the slime episode.
You always like the slime episode. To be fair, I like it as well.
Episode.
Which one? The first slime with the slime hands, or the actual giant slimes?
The giant slimes, where it's
I like
with
the first one
AC.
Yeah.
Or do you like the OVA slimes?
Oh, I didn't watch the OVA.
God damn it, Carrie! Carrie. It's literally episode 13. It's not even like an OVA that has no canon or no nothing. It's literally labeled right in the start of the show, episode 13, because they wanted that to be.
Then why wasn't it on the website?
It was.
It wasn't on mine.
Yeah, it literally was. The one we were all watching it on. It's just at a different section.
I went to a different site.
Okay. I told you to watch the OVA.
I'm sorry.
Because the OVA is literally what happens afterwards and how they're dealing with all the changes that happen.
Oh, what happened afterwards?
We'll get to the OVA later then. First, we're still talking. We'll talk about that after because we're still bringing up the rest of it.
I liked how the good being a good worker got rewarded, and they sold their AC.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. That would never happen in real life.
I was about to say, I don't know how often that would happen in real life because that's like a $200 difference.
Yeah.
No, actually, no.
Well, 370.
Yeah, I was about to say no. It's actually way more than $200 because not only is their AC cheaper, so that by like $200, but they still have to pay the other person that entire amount for the appointment, even for canceling. So it was almost like let's see, almost $500 to $600, and then they still had to pay for the goddamn AC itself. So this was almost like 600 or so dollar difference. It's like, god damn. But to be fair, they did just fix their entire house and save them like, tens of thousands. So you decide. I like service more. So if you're going, like, if I see a drive-through or a gas station, let's just say, and they sell me chips, and they're like $1, it's like, yeah, that's pretty good. But if I go over to a mom and pop shop chips and they sell me chips at $2 but give me a blowjob as well, I'm probably going to go for the mom and pop chips. See, service can outdo the price. And that's why they are specialized in fan service. Carrie fucking died. He's like,
what? No, I got distracted. What the fuck are we even talking about?
Talking about service versus product. So no, service versus sale price.
I gotta take a shower after this.
Ooh. I don't know. What do you say, Smug?
I don't know. I'm kind of lost.
It's a very simple concept. $2 bag of chips or $1 in a blowjob bag of chips. No, wait, no, other way around.
Okay.
$1 bag of chips.
Bag of chips or $2 bag of chips and a blowjob.
All right.
Depends who's giving the blowjob.
The philo.
Philo.
Then yeah, $2 bag of chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, because well, that's sort of like not.
Or female.
Well, it's not really. I guess it sort of is like comparing the same product, but it's like adding more to it. So it's not like.
Well, that's inherently what service is.
Is it though?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes. That's inherently what service is. All right, let's get down to it. So when they talk about how they actually get one up on big chains, is big chains when you go install their stuff, you will have to pay them for the refills and whatnot. But this mom and pop shop, they say if you buy from us, we will have a lifetime free filling it up. It's technically the same product, but their service is extra.
I understand now. I'm kind of stupid. I understand now. But yeah. Service is good.
Okay, so Dragon Ball Super spoilers.
Wait, what?
This is so stupid.
What? Wait, what?
No, I was just talking about Dragon Ball Super. Anyway, yeah. Did you know that Vegeta got a new form?
When doesn't he? Is it The Rock?
Didn't he lose though?
No, he did. He lost immediately.
He always does.
He got a new purple form, and it's driven by his ego. It's literally driven by his ego.
Wait.
So he calls it Ultra Ego.
I think I got something for this.
I'm just so dumbfounded by it all. I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit? Sorry, I was reading the Dragon Ball Super manga still while we were doing this.
Purple drank.
God.
Is that the form? Alright, so yeah. So when it comes down to it, like there's just a lot about this series I do like, but I do think that it wasn't confident in its own story or plot or characters and whatnot. I think it wasn't confident and then went too much into the otaku anime tropes.
Yeah.
And tried to rely
Yeah.
so heavily on it. And I think that's actually what was the detriment that a lot of people were disliking. Because a lot of people were legitimately enjoying the story, the comedy, the way that people act, but it went and when it cuts to the fan service, it's almost always like a hard cut to it. Like no like ease in or any of it. It just completely goes all in and just flat out changes the entire scene. It's like what's it called?
Yeah. And
I think that's probably why a lot of people were hating it, because they were secretly enjoying it, but then they kept quote unquote ruining it.
Well, I just think it wants. I don't know. It feels like it's doing too much. Like we're talking about the
It's
fan
literally
service.
trying to overthrow entire Western civilization.
Yes, it's like communism, corporate elitism, whatever bullshit, fantasy.
Kind of like
stuff.
it's kind of like it has too many ideas.
It has
with
too many
too
ideas
little
for its
time.
own good.
Yeah, too many ideas with too little time, and doesn't like just sink into one part of it. Because I think it can all like
mesh.
It can mesh, but you sort of need to ease into it meshing. You need to ease into like adding all of that stuff in, you know.
Yeah, they always just skip the
And
foreplay.
like yes, that's one way to put it, yes. But given like it's for one, it's only 13 episodes technically. And 13 episodes isn't really enough in my eyes to really like cleanly get all of those ideas across without it seeming like jarring.
Yeah, I mean, 13 episodes to overthrow an entire society, become a demon lord, which Rimuru took 2 seasons, and that were 24 episodes, and everything, and just like, we could go in and talk about that, but that's not just the only thing there. It also is pretty much teaching someone ground up of literally how to interact with society itself, because they've been locked away for their entire life. Oh man. So someone with like extreme chuny autism.
He's just like me.
Just like us.
Just like me, for real.
Oh. But yeah, it's just just so much about it. I don't
so
think
much.
it so much because what's it called? She started, you see throughout the show, she starts learning stuff like incredibly fucking fast later.
Yes, she does. It was cute.
No, what I'm saying is like she starts off, taking forever to repeat phrases that are just repeated right in front of her. He was like, say this phrase, and then she says something completely different. He's like, that was a hard challenge. Now, expel enough mana so that you don't explode anything that you touch on contact. You do that just by breathing. Oh, okay, let me breathe. Boom. Oh, look, I didn't expel so much magic energy now. What? Like, how is anyone even supposed to understand that? Like, what? Because everyone else that talks about magic control and how you're supposed to do it and whatnot, and then someone else just says, breathe. Done. She somehow cuts back, like 99% of her power by breathing. It just doesn't make sense. Just some of the stuff she learns He's like, oh, that took me a long time to learn. You learned it by breathing. All right, cool. But repeating a phrase, yeah, that's real hard.
Yeah.
That takes weeks, you know. Actually, it took 3 days, but still.
After like 3 pure days of just practicing the entire time.
Yeah, three days of constantly practicing.
Yeah.
Like practicing to the point that she falls asleep practicing.
While practicing. Saying 5 different
8.
basic phrases. 8?
8.
Oh yeah, wait. Yes, 8. I forgot how to count.
I can't read. Yeah. So I would say there definitely was a problem with the pacing.
Yeah.
And if this story had more episodes, it would definitely have benefited from that.
Yeah.
It also would have benefited from a side story hentai. But, you know, that's just my opinion.
It would though.
That's what I'm sure for.
Yeah. They can find some really good dojins.
Oh yeah, I've when I first watched this months ago, I already read all of them.
Ah, I see. You read it.
There's a surprisingly lacking amount. There's only like what, 10?
Only 10?
Give or take, yeah.
Damn it.
And they're all almost the same.
That's a market that people need to start getting in on.
All right, so is there other scenes y'all like to talk about?
I liked the last 2 episodes. They were pretty much action, take down the demon lord.
And comedy.
Like, whoa. And comedy, yeah.
I liked Fino's introduction with everybody thinking that Fino was a guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back.
Except for the shopkeep.
And then the reveal that
the old guy.
You know,
the Mr. He's just like me.
Most relatable character in the show.
He's the most relatable character in anime.
To be fair though, if you went to that store and saw all of them, you would also probably grope them. Like every single time. So he's
probably Nova, because she not only doesn't mind, but she actually likes it, and she's only pretending to be a little peeved, because she's not actually pissed. She's just doing it for cutesy things, which she admitted. She's maybe to her.
Yeah. No, but I definitely go for all of them. Not just the girls, but Raul too.
Oh yeah, you just start doing it to Raul.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of like Raul Chaser, and I was like, Raul's a Mexican name. What the hell?
I originally thought it was actually supposed to be Raul, but like the Japanese just couldn't pronounce that name.
Yeah.
so it's just Raul instead.
I know. I like reading it. I thought it was Raul, but then you hear
I
it.
did too.
But you hear it. They're saying Raul. And I was like, Raul's a Mexican name.
And he has the last name Chaser, which I don't know.
He doesn't.
I don't know much. I don't know much about Mexican names, but I can guess that Chaser probably isn't a Mexican name.
No, that sounds like a white name.
Yeah.
What's it go? But no, what's it go? It's ironic that his name is Chaser when he's literally the one not chasing anything, not chasing any girl, not chasing any dream, not chasing literally anything. He's very content with his life. It's everyone else around him that's chasing everything.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, he was a chaser.
at one point, but then
Yeah.
that didn't go anywhere.
And that
really.
is explained more in episode 13.
Yeah. Doesn't have any dreams, and the dreams he did have fucking.
So what happens
died
in
before his
episode
eyes.
13?
All right. So,
Synopsis time.
y'all want to know episode 13. We'll just cut straight to episode 13.
Let's do it.
So, you are Raoul, the most powerful hero of all time. The one who was able to take down a demon lord. Because she technically was a demon lord for a little bit of time, and now she's his pet. Now, you have to explain to your parents and your little sister on how you are a hero despite not being in the Hero Association. So the little sister comes over to see Raoul and all of his work that he's been doing and what he's been up to, because there's a lot of rumors that the Hero Association has disbanded. And they are all expecting him to be like this courageous hero that does everything. Because after it disbanded, he hasn't responded to them, ever. So they're coming in for a checkup. So, what does the main character do? Well, the main character forces Fino to be a demon lord. And by that, she dresses up exactly in that demon lord outfit. You know, the literal, like, one line covering, like, everything. Just literally just one line just covering everything. No. And so now they put her through some challenges. And so Raoul is like actually fighting everyone, quote unquote, actually, in the most hilarious way possible. He's going through the trials of hell to defeat everyone. And the episode 13 pretty much shows that, yeah, it's definitely a harem. So the very first trial is the sand bath trial, or should I call it the sand hell trial. They bought out an entire spa shop just to set up hell stages. And so Nova is in the sand bath. And what that is where her entire body is covered in sand. And keep in mind, the little sister is like 6 years old or something. Something really young. Don't know. Something pretty young. So she's there in front and watching, what's it called? This sand competition thing. And what they have to do is they're fighting. I forget who the other opponent was for that one. I think it was Lore. The mechanic. I think it was. The blue hair girl.
Yeah. The dead inside blue hair girl.
Yeah, and so he was fighting her, and the competition is the person who gives up loses. And the competition is them uncovering Noah from the sand. One at a time. One piece at a time. And if there's no more sand to uncover, the other person loses. So the first thing she does is gets rid of some from the belly. And then he gets rid of some from the, arm. And then she's like, alright, enough playing around. Then she gets rid of some from the waist, and they find out she's not wearing any clothes. And then it makes more sense why she has little flagpole stuff on her nipples. And then he's like, wait a minute. And then he gets rid of some sand, and yeah, she's completely naked everywhere. And so he tries to, quote-unquote, avoid the sensitive areas, which is hilarious because what the boss is trying to do, the manager is saying, well, finally he has no choice but to go for these areas. Maybe he'll finally learn how to treat a woman for once. And then, getting rid of some of the sand and everything, and he only had 3 places left, and that was in between the breast, on the nipples, or at the crotch. And he had to pick. And he was trying to remove the sand without uncovering the nipples fully. And then Fino's like leaning in, looking at him, seeing if he was actually going to do it. And then Fino accidentally falls mouth first onto the breast. And so that was considered a loss for Fino. And so Fino runs away, and the rest join, this valiant hero on his crusade against the Demon Lord. The next Demon Lord battle is Philo versus Eri. And because, Eri's an actual warrior, an actual fighter, it looked like a real battle. So they held nothing back. Like, he was in, his little spa uniform because he wasn't allowed to take his armor in there. But she was fully, decked out in gear with a weapon, full armor, and they were fighting. It was like she had everything, but he couldn't use anything. And, they were going hard at each other. Only for her to lose because of the field itself randomly blows up and stuff like that. And what it did was a stream of water, and this water blew off all her armor. And then they went for one final attack, and it's like, she goes and cuts him up and cuts his sleeve off, and then his other sleeve and whatnot, and just rips, and is like, ha ha, I win. And then he just sheaths his sword. He's like, check again. And then all of a sudden her entire freaking outfit rips off. And then he gets a slap to the face. And then she joins him. And the slap to the face actually makes no sense. Because the way for her to actually slap him in the face like that had to be from behind. Even though she was facing him. But besides that point, so he got her to join in. Then there became the Elsa and Lamb team. The other demon girl and the one who is a scary demon who's also actually just a human. This was a 3rd place in hell. And what it was is this giant wave pool machine, which how the wave pool machine works is it's actually just a really fucking giant washing machine. It's so huge that, what's it called? When they turned it up, it put so much water that I had to freaking create a shield just to not have an entire wave, come and just wash them all away. And this entire thing's you could probably fit somewhere about a few thousand humans in it. That's how fucking huge this washing machine is.
Wow.
And then it's just so insane. And then Ayase goes and confesses her feelings for the main character, and Irie is getting completely into it and just getting pissed and about to actually fight for real. And then Lamp is just getting a bit worried, and she's also wanting to confess, but she's bugged. And then of course the main character, Raulu, says, I don't know what's going on, can y'all stop fighting? And then Lamp says, you fucking idiot, you're the most dense person I've ever seen, slams her hand onto the machine and turns it up maximum overdrive and fucking just creates a tsunami and washes everyone out. Thus, it was their loss. So they had to join his team. All the way until the very last person. The manager.
Oh, God.
Who was completely tied up. All they had to do was untie her.
Oh, yay.
And so he got his sword out, sliced the wrist cuffs, and untied her. And it's like, oh, look, you saved me, thanks. He's like, thank you for putting this all together. It's like, but do you think that's that we're done? What? And then so all of a sudden, a giant plant thing grabs all the females. Oh man! And then Fino was actually secretly controlling a giant plant monster, and I forget what the original name was. It was like Plant Cedar or something, and it was like ha 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 ha. You will never be able to defeat me. And then all of a sudden, the what's it called? The plant starts grabbing Fino as well, and Titans. It's like, wow, I guess the plant, the greater Plant Cedar Z, can't is a little too powerful to control. And then she's like, Fino, didn't I just tell you to get the plant feature or cedar or whatever it's called? And it's like, yeah, but I saw the one right next to it. It said greater, and it even had Z at the end of it. I had to get it. It's like, oh no. And then it just eats them all and puts them into their own individual carrier case with acid. The acid can't affect humans, but it can affect clothes. So yes, every single one of them got naked in this fight scene. Oh man, so it just became, him, the main character trying to destroy this greater plant thing that was like way harder than what it was supposed to be, which he actually couldn't do it until his little sister comes and breaks out of the acid. And then it's like, I believe in you. I know you can do it. Because apparently she has even more freaking magic than the Demon Lord's daughter. And equipped the sword with all of the magic and completely allowed the sword to cut it in half with his Raoul slash. And thus, the day was saved. Thanks to Raoul, the little sister, and the Demon Lord.
Amazing.
So that was pretty much the last episode. And then she went back to her home to explain to her parents and everything about all the stuff that they did. And then at the very end, the very last few words, it's like, being a hero is a little more pervy than I thought. So yes, the entire episode was to trick it into pretty much saying they're living out his dream, even though he definitely isn't.
Wow.
And it pretty much shows everything that happened after the destruction and whatnot. You can see it all in the background and stuff like that. But it's definitely a really fucking funny episode. Very, very, very fan service heavy. But it is actually episode 13 with no big reveal ending. So yeah, that's as much of a breakdown as I could get for episode 13.
That's a good breakdown, though.
But yeah, the entire thing is just a lot, like, literally fan service of every single girl in a funny way.
It's exactly what you want in an OVA, though.
Yeah.
To be
Nice.
fair.
I don't know.
Oh,
What do you
how
think?
long? I think. What haven't we talked about?
I mean, we
There's a
haven't
lot
talked about a
still.
lot. We literally just
Yeah.
said synopsis and a few scenes.
Ah, shit. God, I'm so fucking.
Horny.
Okay, yes. No, I'm deprived.
I think you mean
Okay,
I'm
so
horny.
horny.
no. So what is favorite scenes? What do we do after that?
We're still talking about seeds.
Scenes, yeah.
Fucking fuck.
I'm telling you, there's so much to talk about in this show. I told you
Oh,
when
God.
I told you when we were going, I was going to go for bat for this. I wasn't joking around.
Okay, that's fair.
Hey, Sino can join. So when it comes down to it, it was it's a pretty good show. I do think there are some of the problems with it, as I stated before, but it definitely has a lot of good scenes. Other scenes I like, I just find funny or comedic, like like all the accident ones. So when it comes down to it, there was a time when they had to fight the giant corporation, and they made a plan on how to beat them in sales for the summer,
Mhm.
only for it to accidentally all go wrong, but completely beat their opponent with flying colors. So, how did this happen? First, Dino thought it was so hot that she didn't need to wear a bra under her clothes. And, what's it called? She didn't know that the clothes become see-through. And so she pretty much Raul says for her to go put on a bra and everything, and she's sweating and her magic's leaking out. And when she accidentally touches a box, because her magic's leaking out, is creating electricity and sets off all the fireworks that was supposed to be sold. It just sets them all off. You know, that would probably piss an owner off, until they find out every single person in town pretty much goes to the fireworks. And so they just roll with it. Next thing they do is, because it's accidentally blew up her entire outfit, they needed to wear something. All they had were swimsuits. And so they were also having to sell the freaking swimsuit gear. So it had her play and use it and whatnot, which was doing a lot of good. And then someone finds the camera and is taking pictures with the camera. And then he said, hey, if you buy the cameras, we will all pose in our swimsuits unless you take 20 pictures each.
Oh, I love that scene.
Oh my god! And so, what's it called? These are literally some of the most horny motherfuckers ever, because they all go and they all just completely clear the stock of cameras. Some were buying multiple cameras to get more photos. Oh my god! And so they pretty much sold out of every single thing there. And so overall, they forgave the fireworks going off, but how they were selling everything was just absolutely hilarious, because they just kept having one accident lead to another thing that just happens to lead into a good thing. And it's just like them trying to cool off sells all the freaking swimsuits gear and everything. Them what's it called? Someone like a little pervy taking pictures of them sells all their freaking camera equipment. Just them doing like literally everything that could happen, just makes it even better. I thought that scene was pretty fucking funny. By the way, freaking that bunny suit that Ari wears. She's literally flat in every other scene, but anytime she puts on those bunny suit,
magic bunny suit.
I know, it's her breasts become huge. I'm just like, damn, this is the power of bunny suits. I love it.
Bunny suits OP.
Yeah. Also, same with Fido. The very first time, when she's wearing the jacket, she's completely flat. It's not even like the jacket's so baggy you wouldn't be able to tell. No, the jacket's actually
like
pretty tight. She's just flat.
Yeah. But then when they actually fucking open it, when Raul takes it off, they just fucking pop out.
Yeah, it literally makes sound coming out, and then they can't close it. It's too much. And then anytime she wears it after that, you see the outdentions. It's not flat anymore. Would take a bite. So,
Would.
when it comes down to it, I think we are nearing some of the most important questions. First, who's your favorite character inside the show?
Fino.
Fine. Fino. I think it was just a very clear one that who it really is. It's not that all the characters are wrong, it's just that Fino's just that good. If I had to say like close runner ups, it would have to either be Lamb or Elsa. Or Elsa. I don't want to say Elsa. El Salsa. There.
El Salsa.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Look, if Raul can be Mexican, so can she.
Yeah.
El Salsa.
This is just the Mexican anime, really.
Yeah, just like Bleach. This is literally Bleach.
It's literally Bleach. This is what that new walk is, really.
Yeah, this is the Hell arc.
Everyone's hyping up the new.
I mean, there's demon lords and everything. It's literally just the Hell arc. All right. I think those two characters pretty close second, you know.
Yeah.
But I think the true second best character, right under, Philo, is the old man.
Eric. Oh, the old man.
I agree. Completely agree.
Because no matter what situation, he's going to touch some ass.
He's
just like me.
Literally, the apocalypse is happening. Meteors are raining from the sky. Temperatures are going.
Yes.
Temperatures are going to like 100 degrees. People are dying. Machines are blowing up. And he still is grabbing a girl's ass and rubbing their breast. Wow. Putting their breast on his back. And then, he feels young. Oh my god. He's like always positive, no matter what's going on. And he's actually just a funny character.
He really is.
Honestly.
All right. Now time for the infamous or the famous part of the podcast.
The best part of the podcast.
Waifus 2. Personality, looks, go.
Philo, I don't care. Philo wins everything. Philo is the only thing that I love about the show, and I will die for her.
Okay. So, I'd say... Well, I would say Philo for both, but I will say, who is that blue-haired girl again?
Lore.
Lore based solely on looks, and then Fino on personality.
Mm-hmm.
Not that Fino's personality is bad, but I do just like Lore more in that respect.
Wait. What? Did you get them backwards?
No, wait.
Oh wait, who?
What did I say? What did I say?
You
What did I
said
say?
lore for looks and Pheno for personality. Not that Pheno's personality is bad, but lore was just better.
Fuck, now I confused myself.
I was like, wait, what? Are you trying to say that Lore's personality wasn't bad, but Pheno was just better?
Now I can't.
Okay, which one do you like for looks, Lore or Pheno?
Lore for looks.
All right. So what you're trying to say is, it's not that Lore's personality is bad. It's just that Pheno's personality is better.
Yes,
That's
yes,
the thing.
that is what I'm saying.
All right. Yeah. Personality is obviously Pheno. Definitely wins. This is like no competition. Looks, however, it's a pretty hard one because I thought it was like a three-way tie between Philo, Lore, and Noah. You know, Noah's the one the old man goes after.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And, then, I went to rewatch the anime one more time to fully decide, and then I knocked Lore off. So then it became Pheno versus Nova. And I just gotta say, purely on looks, I think I will have to go with Noah. Just barely, and I think it mostly depends on the day. It's like, it depends on the day, Noah, and Pheno, it depends on the day. Like, these two, they could go back interchangeable. They're so tied, and it's just literally depends on the day.
Yeah, I can get why. It was definitely good.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. So personality, Pheno wins every day. Holy shit. Looks, tie between Pheno and Noah. If I had to pick one right now, it would be Noah. Is there any like favorite scenes or favorite or anything else y'all want to talk about the show? Maybe something that interests you that we haven't mentioned?
I like the world building for the most part.
The world is interesting. Like, oh, you use magic to basically get to the same stuff as modern technology. That's cute.
Electricity. It's literally they use all this magic for electricity.
Electricity.
All these motherfuckers are Raiden. This is, what if Raiden was a normal person and there was like a million of them, and some that weren't Raiden? I mean, they have no reason to create technology that generates electricity when almost everyone is Raiden. You just make stuff that hold it.
It just make no sense just to make something that everyone already, can do on their own.
Yeah. There's very few that can't do it, and they would literally be going about their day the way you would probably have to. You would be accommodating such a small minority to completely like change how like all the appliances works and whatnot. It's like, it's literally easier just for someone to pay someone else to come fill it up.
Yeah.
Rather than change your entire house and how it works. Ugh. I think that's probably it's a pretty interesting way of doing it.
Yeah.
Ugh. Anything else y'all like about it? Best breasts.
Honestly.
I mean, you see all of them. But yeah, honestly, what?
Kitties. Very good.
It is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think there's too much to talk about. how much do y'all like the show, and like what's y'all favorite part about it? And we'll start going off that. And what do y'all hate about it or whatnot? Kyrie.
There is so much to hate. Well, not to hate, just to be disinterested in, I guess.
Like,
Oh,
boy.
name it all.
I'm just not a slice of life person. It's boring to me, especially when like, oh, I see all this stuff that could have been implemented into a fantasy world thing venture, but no, instead you're doing the appliances.
I
I'm
just see
like, oh
so
my
much
god,
stuff that could be implemented into a hentai. It'd probably be
into a
called.
hentai,
It probably
into
could
an
be
adventure.
called Mankitsuku Happening, something like that. I mean, it's very clear in episode 13. Every single woman that exists is part of his harem, except maybe the little sister. We're not sure yet.
Yet.
Ew. What else do you hate, Kyrie?
It's just. Oh, it's hard to put a finger on it, and I hate that I said such a strong word of hate when I don't really have much words to say about it.
Like, just like.
I too want to finger it.
Uh,
All right. While you think of like your exact reasonings or whatnot, do you want to go, Smug?
Sure. So
It could be it could be hate, it could be favorite parts or whatnot. Anything.
the main thing I dislike about this show is the comedy.
Oh,
And it's not that the comedy itself is necessarily bad, but it's more like it kind of just, I don't want to say it overstays its welcome because it's not really the right words for it.
they use it
But
at
it's
the
more
wrong
just
time.
yes. That's or like when they have like a good punchline, they let it stay too long, and it kind of just loses that sort of comedic impact it has.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a similar, and I think a lot of it. Well, one of the thing, well, it's also kind of the same issue that I have with the fan service. I don't really care for fan service, honestly. I don't hate it, but I also don't like really care for it. But there are some times where I think that like it doesn't implement it well, or it puts the fan service in at like the wrong at like not the best of times, or it could have put the fan service in different places better. Those two are the main things I'd say I dislike about the show.
I mean, for me, my last rewatch was just to refresh everything right before the podcast. And I played it all at ×2 speed. I gotta say, the timing was so much better.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on it.
Yeah. I really liked, the vast majority of the things that we talked about, actually.
Yeah.
And I think it has a really neat story and a really neat world. Just not enough time to flesh it out or, be actually accommodating for what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
And I've already talked about like the flaws that I think it has and everything. Yeah. I'd just be restating that.
Yeah. Basically just like too ambitious for its own good, for what for like the story it wants to tell.
Yeah. It's pretty much it feels like this whoever worked on this, I don't think it was like their first writing of a light novel or anything. but I think it definitely is near some of their first writing
Yeah,
because
it's definitely like one. Yeah.
because they're cramming so much stuff. Because I see this a lot in a lot of stories that a lot of people, when they first start writing, they want to put so many ideas into one thing or creating. It could be coding, it could be for video games, it could be a lot of things. They want to put so many things into one pot, but then they figure out they can't flesh out any of it because there's not enough time and it actually takes too much to do. And that's why you'll see a lot of those scenes just completely rushed and conclusions just like boom out of nowhere.
It's
like
it's like
the even going on about the slave thing, like all those demons. Guess what? They showed it. Oh man, how are they going to compete with it? Literally, it went away. No one ever talks about it. And in fact, what's it called? The way they say that they are actually out competing them later is not because they have zero labor. It's actually because, they just get better deals on stuff. It's like, okay, wait, what's the purpose of showing that, but not going any deeper than that? And I'm just like, God damn it. Just like, so there's a lot of like just pushed to the sides because it's too much of a. It's too much to cover in the small allotted time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It like if it really just kept to like a certain like set of things, like a certain set of ideas it wanted to explore, a certain story beat, so on.
Mm-hmm.
It would flow a lot better, and it would also flesh out and also be able to be fleshed out much more, as opposed to what it is, where it's just like so many interesting ideas crammed into one place, but there isn't enough time to explore all of them thoroughly.
I really wanted to like this show more than I did. I think it has a lot of interesting stuff. When I first watched it, I was thinking it was between an 8 to a 9, but on a rewatch, I'm thinking it's probably a 7, possibly going down to a 6. But, I think I'm going to stomp my feet at the 7.
I'd say for me, probably like a 5 or a 6. I'll be in the middle and say like a 5.5.
I'd say probably like a 5. Yeah, barely.
Yeah. It's like, it's a show that you definitely wanted more of. Would y'all recommend it?
If you want titties, this is your show.
I'd say give it a shot. Like give it a couple episodes.
But because of the titties and all that thing about it, I probably wouldn't recommend it. Like it's like one of those things you show to the bros. Like, cause you show this to everyone else, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
Show this to a stranger.
Like, there is actually one thing I wanted to talk about that I almost forgot. Them going out and investigating other businesses. And it could be just that when I worked and whatnot, I didn't work in these mom and pop shops. So I understand the idea of going and like comparing yourself with the opposing companies.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, usually I would see that work would probably fall on the manager or the person who runs the company and whatnot. I find it weird that they're sending like every single person out to actually look at it and do it and all, and they're not doing anything. It's like, besides just looking around, and you could say it's like, oh, they're comparing their service with theirs. It's like, literally just means be more attentive, which you can that that without even going there is like, oh, there's a new place going and opening up. Just be more fucking nice and be more attentive, be a little more knowledgeable about what you do know and whatnot. And then you could probably look it up online of what their prices are. Like, you could price compare like that way and lower your prices as needed. It's like almost all these things, like anything I can think of, you can either do online or do with common sense. And I have absolutely no idea why it's actually needed to go there.
I have no idea either.
But apparently, inside the voice chat...
Apparently it happens.
Yeah, apparently it happens, according to the voice chat. And they thought I just don't work at this stuff. And it's like, no, I just haven't worked any small chains. And it's like, we never did that with big chains. Because that seems more like a anything. If anyone should be doing it, it should be like the leadership, because they're the ones, they know what they're looking for, they know what they're changing, they know what they're doing, and blah 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 blah, and just all that. So is sending the average person out there, and it's like, eh. But yeah, would I recommend this show? It's hard for me to say a yes. I would say if you're looking for just a random slice of life with a little bit of fancy, something you might like, but you're not really going to think about for a long time, you'll probably forget it. This might be the show for you. You know, kind of like the otaku junk. It is a little bit better than most otaku junk, but not too much that I would see a lot of people really care. It is a neat thing that you can bring up, and it's like, oh, this show didn't have many people talk about it or watch it, and it was surprisingly pleasant. Let's just say that it was surprisingly pleasant. I would definitely say watch it if those are your taste, or if you just liked anything about this podcast we talked about, because we, like, almost all the scenes and scenarios we gave, the entire show is just full of those. All right. What's it called? Did you
think we're...
Kyrie, did you think about what you wanted to say for why you hate it, or not hate it, but dislike it?
You all basically
explained it.
Yeah, pretty much. You pretty much explained everything I would have said. So,
all right,
like, I basically repeating it.
All right then. Well, I don't think there's anything left to talk about.
Damn, that feels like the shortest episode so far.
It's actually not.
Really? How long have we been here?
An hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, damn.
The shortest episode was Your Name, which was an hour and 8 minutes.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us. This has been Weebanomics. I have been your host, Kyrie Luminous, at Kyrie Luminous on Twitter.com. Hope you will join us next time. These have been my co-hosts.
This has been Smug. Thank you for listening.
This has been Raul from Mexico.com. Goodbye.